Hey guys, Movie Junkie for Life here, and this is going to be my review of the final comic book movie we have for the year, Justice League. And this is one everybody was waiting for, hoping it would be better than BVS and Suicide Squad and everything DC that came before, with the exception of the wonderful Wonder Woman. And here the story is the formation of the Justice League. Steppenwolf has come to Earth in search of these mother boxes, and he is the greatest threat that they have faced. So Batman and Wonder Woman get together and try to put together a team of superheroes that can defeat the ultimate bad guy, or the ultimate baddie. At least this time around, he's the ultimate baddie. So Justice League. Now, DC or DCEU, I should say, has been not so good. They've always given me hope that they're gonna come with something awesome since Man of Steel and come forward, and they've always to varying degrees let me down. I'm not a DC fanboy, but I love me some DC comic books. They're having an excellent run right now. Because of Wonder Woman and because of certain things that took place behind the scenes, I was willing to hold out hope on Justice League. And what I will say for this movie is that it is the most fun I've had with a DC movie in quite some time. I will say that, with the exception of Wonder Woman. I adore that movie. It's my #1 comic book film for the year. So Justice League. Now, story-wise, this movie, it has a plot, but it's pretty badly executed, pretty poorly executed. Like I said, we have Steppenwolf here looking for these 3 boxes. I won't get into too much spoiler details other than to say it's very Lord of the Rings like, the whole box scenario. And he's totally CGI, and the CGI in this movie, the visuals in this movie, some of it worked, most of it didn't. The CGI in this movie is really piss poor most of the time. The acting is one of the strong points of this movie. I really love these characters, and I love what the actors are doing with these characters. With the exception of Ben Affleck, who I actually really like. Ben Affleck. I happen to think he's very talented as a director, as a writer, and I think he's very underrated as an actor. But Ben in this role feels like he doesn't know what to do with the role. He seems like he doesn't, and I don't think it's his fault, because the dialogue in this movie, some of it is atrocious. It really doesn't, the line delivery is not good. And I don't blame the actors. The dialogue here is written like a Saturday morning cartoon. And some of it you're actually cringing when they say it. Granted, like I said, some of it works. And I feel like Ben was struggling as to what the hell am I supposed to do with this character now, because I get the feeling he had a vision for how he wanted to play Bruce Wayne and Batman, and so many people have been hitting him with so many different views of what they think he's doing, that at this point he seemed like, at one point my friends were saying he seemed like he was almost half drunk playing this role. So I'm really sad about that. But everybody else involved was invested and was a lot of fun. Jason Momoa's Aquaman, I adore Momoa, and he was perfect here in my opinion. Ezra Miller's Flash was also a different take on Barry Allen, but a likable take no less. And who surprised me the most was the character Victor Stone's Cyborg. The actor, I have to give him a lot of kudos, because I didn't think the character was coming across really wooden in the trailers, and I think he managed to have a good balance of a character that was struggling with his humanity versus his robotic side, if you want to put it that way. So I thought he did a really, really good job with Cyborg, and with the exception of some CGI that didn't work, Cyborg looked a lot better than I thought he would. Honestly, there is some stuff there that just doesn't seem natural. The movement doesn't seem natural, but I liked the end product a lot. Again, I'm trying to stay away from spoilers, but everybody knows Superman is alive at this point. And it was nice that I finally got a Superman that I could root for. Me personally, I did not like the BVS Superman. As far as I'm concerned, that movie should have been called Batman versus Batman. Man of Steel, he was still developing the character, so I'm willing to overlook that. but he's never been my Superman. He's never been a Superman that was full of hope and seemed like he had some love and some happiness in his life. We get that here. The jokes, for the most, they work for me. There are certain scenes that I really loved in this film. One of them being the rebirth of Superman scene. It's not perfect, but I think it's one of the best scenes in this movie. And you guys might notice that I'm actually picking and choosing what works and what doesn't work in this movie. And the reason for that is, unfortunately, this movie is very badly edited. This movie feels like a mishmash of, as a fellow reviewer, Rock and Reviews, Wayne Rock says, it feels like a mishmash of moments. It doesn't feel like a cohesive film. There's a scene, something happens, we cut. There's a scene, something happens, we cut. There's no flow to this movie. And yet, with all its flaws, this movie managed to be very entertaining and very fun. And I have to say, it has me excited for where they're going in the future. The post-credit scenes especially, I think we're building to something pretty decent here. And if the studios would just back off and give the directors and the writers the freedom that they need to really bring these characters to life, I think these movies could be a lot better. Justice League, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. I can't even say I was disappointed, because I went in not expecting much, because DC's track record is not a good one. But I was happily surprised at how entertained I was with this film, and I would never say I don't like this movie. I enjoyed this movie. With all its flaws, all its missteps, all the bad dialogue, the poor editing, and the terrible CGI, they still managed to give us likable characters that you can get invested in and look forward to seeing more of. And that in itself is a miracle. So Justice League gets a 6 out of 10. And that's going to be it for me, guys. Our last big comic book movie for the year. I think the next big film we get is Jedi, The Last Jedi. So look forward to that review, and until next time, bye bye.